So I was this 20-something playing to a hall of people who were median age 65 and up, which was fine, but I knew that I loved this music and I loved the experience. There had to be other people who did too. So that didn't come until I could get out of the idea of competing, right? So we're trained to compete. And in my industry, you go to school, you go to music school, you go to camps, you get 5 different degrees, you get a performance certificate, then you go to every continent, you study with every teacher possible. And then you're told that if you just practice hard enough, it'll make perfect and the cream will rise to the top. But everybody's cream is everybody's cream. So I remember coming out and realizing, and I tell the story that, on one side of the industry are these child prodigies, and they're like 8 years old playing the same music that I just played, at 30 or now at 40. And then you have these, I always say, these old guys who are like 200 years old, and they won't die, they won't get off the stage, and they've recorded all the Beethoven sonatas, and you've played 3 and they've recorded, all of the sets. And you have this moment where you say, well, how in the world do I stand out? And so that process then of reinventing now to the point where you're inimitable. So what I try to do is, depending on what the theme is or what I'm riffing on as the topic, the music will always highlight the point. So I'll do something about invention or improvisation. And then usually I will call people up out of the audience to improvise with me in real time. And that's wonderful in corporate settings. People think they're not artists. And then you find out, oh my gosh, we all have this art in us. I talk a lot about looking backwards and seeing kind of parts of your background that might be influencing who you are today. And so for me, I've always been obsessed with rhythm. And I discovered a long time ago that my dad used to play these African drumming, Olatunji, African drumming albums when I was little. And now I incorporate them at that part where I'm talking about looking back, but I'm now playing kind of classical improvisation over the African drumming. So the audience is seeing in real time. And then I will talk a lot about how do you make something that's traditional and standard yours? How do you make it original?